being a child actor in the cinematic classic to producing, acting, directing, and writing scripts for Kannada movies, B. Suresha's journey in the world of Kannada cinema and theatre is an incredible story. I, for one, can wait to dive into the story. Hey everyone, I'm Jyotsna Hegde with NRI Pulse, and B. Suresha, welcome to Atlanta and to NRI Pulse, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for making this kind of a dialogue happen between you and me.
Thank you. So let's get right to it. So you started as a child actor. So in Ghatashraddha, and that was one of the legendary directors, Ghatashraddha. Then you move on to Shankar Nag, another legend, directing Malgudi Days, one of my favorites, and Accident. And you assisted there. You've been part of these great legends. So tell me, how has these influences very early on in your career sort of carried on to your storytelling today?
Storytelling was a passion to me from my younger days. I wrote my first story when I was in my 6th grade,
Wow.
which got published in a monthly magazine. And
What was it called?
it was a story about a religious Brahmin family. The clash between the senior-most in the family with the then younger generation, that kind of a story. What happened in my life, that I had written as a story, and that got published. And the first remuneration I got for that was 5 rupees.
Wow.
I was very happy with that. So, storytelling has been my passion from a long time. Working with Girish Kasarvalli made me disciplined, made me understand the structure of a narrative, how to structure your narrative, why to do whatever you do. And it was not just the 3-act kind of a thing, what Sitfield says. It was more than that. Trying to drive home a point to the audience through an Indian structure, more of the what Bhavabhuti and others talk of Rasa Siddhanta in their theories. Those things were being used by Kasarvalli. Very, very carefully, nuanced script, as you know. So I was impressed with that. And the art director for that film was K.V. Subbanna, another big stalwart from Karnataka. And the original story writer was U.R. Anantamurthy. And there was S. Ramchandra Aital, was one of the finest cameramen Kannada films has ever seen. And there was Ramakrishna, who was a makeup man. Even now he is revered for his work. And then there was one more guy called Krishnamurthy, who was recording sound. All these people taught me various things. And incidentally, what happened in that film was, actually that film was supposed to get over in one schedule. Because of various reasons, it went into second schedule. So the people who were assisting Kasarvalli in the first schedule could not turn up for the second schedule. So I became an assistant director also.
Okay then.
It was fun. I did not know many of the terms used in filmmaking. Even now I remember both the cameraman and director were talking about the next shot. Director was telling the cameraman that it's the over-the-shoulder shot. He told it in abbreviation, OSS.
Oh.
Over-the-shoulder shot. I had written it as OSS in my editing report. I did not know what they mean. And then S. Ramchandra laughed at it and he explained to me it is over-the-shoulder shot. It is shot like this, something like that. That way I learned. And there was this guy Suresha, who was the assistant to the editor of the film, Umesh Kulkarni. We became friends, and that friendship made me work as an assistant to Suresha later in Malgudi Days, and even later films like Roja, Dalapati,
Wow.
and all those films. I was an assistant to Suresha. So that way I learned editing a film, which is the most important part of a film narrative. And I also worked as an assistant to S. Ramchandra in one or two films as a cinematographer's assistant. So that also helped me learn a lot about filmmaking, narrative in filmmaking. You know, once you learn lensing, that's the biggest thing. What lens to use where. That itself is a big lesson. All these things helped me. And all the stalwarts of film or the literature world or the cultural world were so close to me. They used to call me by my name. Sore, Baro Ille. That's how Anantmurthy used to call me, or Devi Karant used to call me. So I did not know that they were big.
Yeah.
And I was close to them. So whatever small things that they spoke of, they did not mind that there was a child in the group. They were speaking something big. And that went into my head, and that has helped me a lot in grooming me as whatever I am.
So speaking of these early childhood experiences, your mother is a legend herself. You know, she was the first female reporter, journalist in Karnataka. She also brought the film festival to Bengaluru. What is her influence in your life?
Being the child of a single mother, single parent, is always a difficult journey. And that too, a woman. You know, in those days in the late 70s, if it's a single woman, you know how people used to talk. They used all kinds of allegations on such kind of a woman, demonizing her or calling her as names, various kinds of names. And she was busy. She was busy from morning 7 o'clock to night almost 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So she never had time to groom us. The advantage was there were lots of books in the house. When I was in 6th standard, I had read both the novels written by Kuvempu.
Wow.
Like Malegalalli Madhumagalu or Kanuru Subbamma. That was the pastime that I had. You know, instead of going to play in the field, I used to read. So I was always advanced than whoever was teaching me in the school. I was more prepared than a teacher. So that used to create lots of clashes in the school. If somebody is teaching about some scientific thing or language, what they were teaching was, they were prepared for that, whereas I was more advanced. So that used to create lots of frictions in the classroom, because I was the only kid who was asking lots of questions.
Because you already knew what they were talking about.
I was curious to know lots of things. So that used to create lots of frictions, and that also gave me the opportunity to learn more. That is the major contribution of my mother, because she she opened me to the world of books, number one, and she made me learn how to spend your time when you are alone. That was the second thing. Third thing, your parents may be away doing something. You should be able to cook yourself, you should be able to wash your clothes, you should be able to clean the vessels. So that made me a man.
Oh wow, okay.
That was my childhood. And that made me get into street theatre. And I did a lot of street theatre. Each play running into 1,500 shows. And I toured as a young man thrice all over Karnataka performing street theatre. That opened me up to the world of various Kannadas. I was exposed to that Kannada because of the street theatre. That also helped me know lots of people. And that has helped me reach a lot of people.
So I see that streak in your movies too. Most of your movies are, they're socially and political realities you based on that. So tell me, when you make movies like that, how do you sort of strike a balance between social commentary and sort of the entertainment aspect of the movie?
Whatever films that I direct, they are very, very political. And they don't get back money.
Anything. The highway. And
Yeah. They don't get back.
Not.
Yeah, of course, Puttakana Highway made real good money. Most of the other films did not get me back an investment. So what I used to do popular television soaps. Earn money in that, spend money in doing this kind of films. Later on, what happened post 2017 television market had a big slump. So I started producing films with big stars. Do a film with a big star, earn money, spend it on doing good films or good theatre or helping people. Because good things, there are very few people to support that kind of a movement. Even today, or be it Shivaram Karanta's days or this day, always good thing is always a minority. Minorities do not get the right kind of support either then or now. So that has to be, that minority has to be supported with the majority thing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you're directing all these, socially conscious movies, and then you're in KGF.
Yeah.
So, sort of, I guess my question here is, how do you see what you call this mass movie and message movies? Do they coexist? How do you see?
They have to coexist. They have to. I don't know whether you remember the name like N. Narasimhaiah or Usha Navratnaram.
No.
They were the most popular people.
Yeah, agree.
Their novels used to get published in 10,000, that kind of a number. Whereas that Shivaram Karanta used to write in parallel lines with those people.
Correct.
To sell 1,000 copies of one novel like Betta the Jiva or all popular novels which we remember now. Shivaram Karanta is remembered even now for all kinds of novels. They were to sell 1,000 copies. It used to take more than 10. Many novels used to sell at the approximately around 5,000 per year. Usha Navratnaram or Narasimhaiah used to sell 10,000, 15,000 per year. Whereas Shivaram Karanta, to sell 1,000 copies, it used to take 10 years.
Yeah.
It is the same situation even now. A popular film star can earn. Rajinikanth, for example, today, recently, his film has got released, Coolie. Whether the film is good or bad, it earns in 200, 300 crores within maximum a week.
Yeah.
Whereas a good film like Dvipa made by Girish Kasarvalli or a film like Puttakana Highway, to earn will take 3 or 4 years. Slowly we have to go to our audience, show it to them in our own method, go there, announce in an auto rickshaw that today evening in a government school this film is going to be screened for 10 rupees. If you are happy, then pay the money. All those things we do.
Oh, you pay the money if you're happy with the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I have never seen that.
I have done that
Wow.
for Puttakana Highway.
Wow.
It's kind of a touring talk, is kind of an activity.
Okay.
We have done that. That's the way you reach your audience. Whereas a popular film earns its money in weeks. For maximum 3 days, 4 days, it earns its money.
True.
And they have to coexist.
Yeah.
Parthenium grows in numbers. Next to it, there should also be a rose garden. There should also be a jasmine garden. All kinds of plants are supposed to be there in your garden. So everything should coexist. Jyotsna and me have to coexist.
Yeah.
That's what is life. That's what is society.
You have your own media house,
Yeah.
production house, Meet the Media House. So you run it with your wife.
Yeah.
So when you produce movies, so how do you sort of select movies? Well, let's say when you're producing a movie versus directing it.
Yeah. Even while producing, most of the time I'm directing. Though there is a director. But I don't put my name in the film. I try to stay away from that. I have a director. I try to direct. Sometimes it works. sometimes it does not. We try to take contemporary social issues like a film in Yajamana was talking about corporatization, the fight between a small farmer and a corporate farming kind of activity of, those people, we call them as Ganigas in Karnataka. They extract oil from seeds. They are small people. Yajamana was a mainstream film. I also made a film called Sakkare, which was a mainstream film with Golden Star Ganesh, which did not work for me. There can be one bad, one good
Nanu
experience.
Nanna Kanasu.
Nanu Nanna Kanasu also was produced by me with that was the time I was supporting new filmmakers. I had done a film called Gubachigalu with Abhaya Simha in 2007, and in 2009 I supported Prakash Rai to become a director, and I funded him to direct Nanu Nanna Kanasu, which was a remake film, which was a successful film in Tamil. There my contribution was almost literally nil because it was a remake film. Prakash was he was doing the lead role, he was directing, and he was, incidentally, Prakash Rai was my student when I was a teacher in Abhinaya Taranga, a theatre school.
Okay.
So we were also friends, even till date we are good friends. So I supported him, and then I made Kranti. All these films were having contemporary social issues as the main theme, being told in a popular mode with a popular hero. So to select a film to be produced by my company, we see to it that it has some contemporary relevant issue, like what we are trying to work now on scams, loan scams, which disturbs the small time, the lower end of the society, who fall as a trap to such kind of a thing. They suffer. They are suffering. Lots of people. We are trying to work on that kind of a subject, but it's yet to be formally, the structure is happening. I don't know whether I'll be doing that or something else. Right now we are structuring on that. We're also trying to fight against the corrupt system which makes a road which kills people by road accidents. We're also trying to work on such kind of a subject. We're also trying to work on a subject called which has a content on water, farmer and government. All these kinds of subjects which are very, very relevant and which is the hot topic of the day.
So when you direct, what is your process for selection?
Most of my directorials are more than a film, they're pamphlets. Because if you have seen street theatre of Safdar Hashmi or Ipta or Prasanna's Samudaya's kind of a theatre, same kind of films, it's political. It talks for issues which are very, very disturbing to the local society, or the whole world sometimes. Like Puttakan Highway talks of development is needed. Development is needed. At the same time, those illiterates and the people who are almost not supported by any groups, who are being pushed from one place to the other continuously, such kind of voiceless people, the suffering of those people have to be voiced. That's what I try to do in Puttakana Highway or Devaranadalli or even Uppina Kagada.
Do you think, today, the world is so divided today. I mean, even here, like elections, whether it's Republican, Democrat, anything, right?
Anything.
Muslim, Hindu, it's really divided, and it wasn't like this few years back, right? Do you think movies like, let's say, Puttakana Highway have space, which is so politically charged, really? So, there is a space for movies like that anymore? I mean,
It is there. If you have seen that Malayalam film Ulavakku, performed by Urvashi and Parvati Iravattu, I might have pronounced it wrong because it's a Malayalam film. It's a contemporary issue. Though in the foreground there is a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, the whole film is a parallel film. Or there is a film called Hadinellentu, which is available on YouTube. Or there is a film called DNA, which is available on YouTube. All these are parallel contents, which do not find space in the bigger market.
Right.
But in smaller, they are small voices. If a popular film reaches 2 crore people or 3 crore people in the Karnataka kind of a mindset, this film may reach 10 lakhs or 20 lakh people. 20 lakh people giving 100 rupees is 2 crores. It's profit for that kind of a film.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, you have to find a way to swim through. Every era, be it Socrates era or be it today,
Yeah.
good things always find it difficult to swim through. You have to fight. You have to swim against the current. Find your funds. Find your space to market. Use all your knowledge. Try to reach people. Use Jyotsna, use Bharat, use all kinds of media to reach more number of people. And you see, making a society healthy is our responsibility. Yes, they are polarized because of various reasons. Because of the liberal and open market economy. Can I say, oh, liberal and open market economy is a villain? No, I can't. Because I am using a smartphone. I am using a smartphone even to record this interview. I can't say it is bad. The same mode is being used to polarize people. Either Republican or Democrat or all kinds of divisions. Me and them. That kind of a division has happened all over the world.
Right?
All over the world. From Burma to India to America to anywhere. There is a marked division. In that kind of a time, it is more important for us to talk more. You know what Brecht says? When in times of difficulty, your poems, your theatre, your media should talk about difficulty, should talk about the polarization, should talk about love, should talk about being together, holding your hands together. That's what we try to do. See, the recent play that I wrote was based on a novel by Rabindranath Tagore, Ghare Bahire. I called it as Lokada Vala Horage in Kannada. It talks about the same polarization which can happen within a family. And how a woman tries to fight it out. Because women are the first meek people who surrender to that. Who become immediately fall to a God man, fall to a some religious person or hyper nationalism, hyper patriotism. Women fall to it, and they come to understand later that this is a disease. How to come out of it? No antibiotic will work unless your head is clear. So she fights and she understands that this is bad. The novel was written when? It was written in 1916.
Yeah.
I made the play in 2024.
It's timeless, right? These are classics. Yeah.
Every era has people trying to talk about being together. Be it Pampa, or be it Kumara Vyasa of Kannada, or be it Rabindranath Tagore, or Premchand, or Surga. Find the suffering, find an answer to the suffering, and find a method in which people can be peaceful. That's what is the whole idea of Buddhism. It was how many, 2,500 years old. Huh? We are no different today. We should also find answers to all our problems every day. Yeah.
So speaking of plays that you mentioned, you yourself, you're not just in movies, you're also into books. In fact, you are the winner of Karnataka Sahitya Academy Award of the Prestigious Award.
Twice or thrice.
Exactly. So, tell me, how is your writing process different when you write for literature, and is it different for when your thinking process for cinema?
It should be, because theatre is a different medium. Cinema is a different medium. Cinema uses a machine to record, and it is permanent. Theatre does not use a machine. It is alive every day. So what you write should go into the mind of all the actors playing in that specific play, and they have to transfer it to the audience. Maybe the artist who is doing a role in the same play may be of a different political ideology. He may bring it out as a different play. Then the whole, that's the challenge. How to convince a troupe or a team of performers to play a written material which has a different political stand than what the general stand is. That's always a very difficult thing. So it was always a challenge for me. For the first play that I did, Kuti Kate, which was set in the emergency period, and it was anti-establishment. There were people who were supporting the establishment, like how majority people support an establishment now. Same way that time also, I was writing a play anti-establishment. To convince somebody to direct such a play itself is a difficult thing. I convinced somebody, Ashok Badardini directed it, and the play was a super hit. People started liking that play. It was based on a short story written by Besagarahalli Ramanda. And I had used it as a jumping board. I had used the content in the story as a jumping board to write whatever I wanted to write. And I was 18 years old.
Wow. But then you also started very early on.
Yeah. So that's it. When you write a play, it's a different medium. Why are you writing it? To make somebody perform on a stage and reach it to a specific audience. When you are making a film, you are looking at a bigger audience and a machine recorded content. Okay? When you are doing television, it's more like communicating to ear than the eye. Because most of the people, they do their job and there is a television switched on. Okay? They're cutting vegetables and they're watching a soap. So you try to communicate through, like a radio play, you try to communicate through their ear. So more dialogue. In cinema, less dialogue. In theatre, it's more a poetry than dialogue.
You have that thing of resilience and reinventing yourself, so to speak, through all of these, whether it's production, direction, theatre or cinema. So is there like an underlying philosophy that guides you through all these shifts?
Survival is the philosophy. Most of the time.
Bottom line, yeah.
I was working with art films in the beginning of my career. They pay very little money, in art house cinema. What you get is peanuts. I worked for a film called Vivekananda, directed by G.V. Iyer, for almost close to 2 years. Salary that I got for 2 years of work in between 1990 and 92.
That's
2 years.
Very far back.
The salary that I got was 8,000 rupees.
Together? Not per
That was
month.
including conveyance.
Oh, you.
So I had to for survival, I had to find alternative jobs. So I became a journalist. I became a critic. I wrote for various magazines. And I also wrote for porno magazines to earn money. for survival,
I know. That's
And
what
then,
I'm saying. We were really
then I found this guy Ravichandran. Somehow he was impressed with my work, so he gave me a job. It was a Pakka commercial film. All Ravichandran films had love as the main theme.
Yes.
I started working with him. I worked with him for more than 10 films.
Wow.
He was a paymaster. For 6 months of work, I used to earn more than 2 lakh rupees that time.
Wow.
It was a huge month. So I earned there. I made my television entry, and slowly from children content to the adult content, or rather the serious content, weekly serials and all those things, they became popular. In 1997, the first serial that, till then I had made 3 or 4 serials which never worked. They flopped. They did not earn good money. In 1997, I made a serial called Chiguru, which clicked, which made me a big man, which got me big money. Through that, I got into daily soaps. All the daily soaps that I did till 2016, from 1998, worked, and they gave me lots of money. That helped me make my films, and they helped me build my own home, my own office. Even to my brother, I built a house with the money that I earned in television.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's always survival, The basic question that you asked me was, how did you sail through? Every time, the issue was survival. I had to find methods. I had to find a path with which not just me, my family, my mother, who had retired by then, and my brother, who was fighting his place as a printer, I had to help everyone in my family. So that made me find paths.
Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
You have perfectly said it. That's the way I have been living.
You were talking about different platforms where some movies have found their space, right?
Yeah.
So now it's the world of streaming. Everything is, So do you, in that context, do you see Kannada cinema evolving in a different way because of all these different platforms?
Streaming is a 2% market. It does not help.
You think?
98% market is somewhere else. Elite class of the Karnataka, they watch, maybe even the American Kannadigas, they may watch things in streaming. It's just a 2% market.
Really?
What we get money is from theatre release, theatrical release. But what has happened in the last few years post-COVID, specifically COVID, exposed many people to the world cinema. And that was the time when OTT platforms got a 48% market. That was because of the lockdown, people were at home.
It was a necessity.
So people started watching things on mobile phones, television, everywhere. OTT platform, immediately there was a boom in the COVID time. It was 48% in COVID, that 2 years or 3 years between 2020 to 2021. Then immediately after COVID, all the market had a big slump. It is now, what 48% was there, it has now come to 8%. Okay, that is this thing. And in that, Kannada film watchers are only 2%.
Very interesting. Interesting.
I'm just trying to give you some figures.
Perspective too.
Perspective. So what happens? I have to make a film for theatrical audience. But if in case I'm trying to make a film for the OTT audience, then my construction, my structure of the whole narrative, the tempo of the narrative, and what kind of a content, all those things change. And what a OTT platform wants is crime, thriller, sometimes romance. sometimes extreme. That romance has also a little kind of a porn kind of a content.
Yeah.
Though it has a lot of restrictions on that in the recent Indian market, porn no more sells because they have put lots of gates,
Yeah.
unlike America. Hmm. So, if in case I am going to OTT, then I have to find a content which has thriller qualities or a crime or a legal issue, that kind of a content. But if in case I am going for a theatrical thing, then I have to play to the gallery. No, so from so or so, that kind of a playing to the gallery.
So it's not yet. So you're saying we are not at a stage where every producer and director is thinking about, hey, should I be thinking about how to make a movie for the streaming platform? You're not there yet because everybody.
You can't exclusive if you want to invest huge. You want to make a Bahubali, then you have to get your money from theatrical release, not from OTT platforms. OTT market is a 2% market now for Kannada. Maybe for other languages it may be, the percentage may be different, but for Kannada it is a 2% market. Satellite television gives you another 8%. So it is totally around 10%. If I am investing 1 rupee, I can only get 10 paise from the digital platforms. Other 90 paise I have to recover from the theatrical market. So I have to play to the gallery. I have to say to it that I somehow reach my audience, or I should try to release my content on YouTube and try to reach those kind of people who will watch this kind of a content.
Find ways to monetize that.
Yeah, monetizing is always a very difficult thing. In a corporate world, all OTT platforms are controlled by corporate sector people. The way they think is different from what me or you think. So we are not from the same corporate world. So what we try to do is a different kind of a content, different kind of selling, different kind of marketing. Until now, fortunately, I have survived. Tomorrow also, I should be able to survive.
You will. You found ways to reinvent yourself many times. So tell me, how do you define success? What does success mean to you?
Success is a responsibility. Success is also a headache. Once you are successful with one kind of a content, you are bracketed and put in that. So you have to come out of that stereotype bracketing, invent yourself to do something fresh, become once again successful. No, the first material that I did for television, Chiguru, was a children content. It was vaguely based on mocking bird, that popular novel.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird. No? That was vaguely based on that. That content, To Kill a Mockingbird, is actually for content for elders.
Right.
But I had made it into I had got a permission to do a children film, children serial. So I adopted it. The perspective was by the children of that parent. The whole content was made for that, and it became successful. I was bracketed into making content for children. I jumped up and I made a serial called Sadhani, which was made, it had 9 biographies as a platform. Rosa Luxemburg's and Malcolm X and Elia Kazan or Alec Padamsee, that kind of people, those biographies helped me create characters, 9 characters. 9 characters, and everybody were doing content for female audience. I started doing content for male audience. So I used to get the advertisement of a Jeep, motorbike, while the other people were getting advertisement of soap and shampoo. I was getting better money from the Jeep advertisement and bike advertisement.
Of course.
And that way, because I was doing content for the male audience, had a bigger return, bigger profit.
So is that success?
So success always helps you find new avenues to find. You should not be bracketed as something. No, you should not. Somebody should not name you as something. Find new method to do new kind of content. The next serial that I did was Guptagamini, which was also very, very popular with female audience. I left Guptagamini halfway and jumped into make a serial called Nakutanti, which also became a super
my
hit.
mom used to watch Nakutanti.
It ran for 9 years. The whole idea was, a tambura has a base made out of sore kai, that's one kind of a vegetable.
Yeah.
The whole, that is made out of jackfruit's tree. The strings are metal. And the man who is playing is somebody else. That's the idea. Every piece of content in your family may be of different things. They can come together and create a music which is audible. That's the idea of the whole serial, which became super hit. And once again, male audience started watching it, and also female audience. So it ran for 9 years, and it supported so many people. The success is that when people bracket you to something, come out of it, do something else. Otherwise, you get stuck in that world. You are either branded as a comedian, or a villain, or a, after KGF, what the same director made was another KGF.
True.
You should not get stuck like how Rajamouli finds a way to get out of the same mold and do something else. Triple R is so very different from Bahubali. That's the Yash Chopra team, how they make films. Each film is different. The recent film War to the other films like Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge to War, it's a different storytelling, different content. Same way you have to evolve yourself to do something fresh every time. So success is a responsibility. Success is also a headache.
So where are you right now? Where are you headed next? Do you know?
I'm writing right now a play on the generation gap from somebody from Gen X to Gen Alpha. It's the story of 3 generations: mother, daughter, and granddaughter. All 3 are musicians. Then what can happen? It's a play, specifically being written for one more big doyen of Kannada theatre. Once it is completed, you will know. And I'm also directing a play, which is a folk story from Kolar belt, where it is called as Uguru Deepa. A nail. In a nail, somebody keeps a lamp. They hold it like? Yeah, it's a folk story. It's called as Uguru Deepa. You have a longer nail and you place a cotton this thing there, and you also pour that cotton is soaked in oil. You keep it here and you light that cotton. That's a tradition. And that light, Guru Deepa, is narrating the story of a girl who has been accused of extramarital affair, and how this Guru Deepa helps that same girl to come out of that situation is the whole content which is being written by one more popular writer from Kannada, specifically for play, K.Y. Narayan Swami, that I am going to direct for another big team in Karnataka called Nataranga. Okay, Nataranga has crossed 54 years now. They are trying to revive that theatre team now. They have asked me to direct the play, which I am working on. I am also writing a film script which I'm going to direct. I'm also evaluating 6 screenplays sent by various filmmakers, which will be produced by my company. Quite a tight schedule.
Yeah.
I try to spend my time carefully so that I don't while away and try. And I also have the habit of reading or at least for 2 to 3 hours a day.
Wow.
Try to find good books to read, keep the mind fresh and healthy.
Very nice. So let's wrap up with this. So what is your message for anybody who wants to be in this art world? Because I know you're in theatre, maybe there's a different message for somebody who wants to be in the theatre and somebody who wants to be in cinema. So please go ahead.
Whoever is working in whatever media, or somebody may not be working in any media, I suggest to them, enjoy this moment. If you forget to enjoy this moment, and if you are lost in yesterday, 600 years back somebody looted so and so you should try to fight today. That's a waste of time. You try to enjoy this moment and don't lose your mind to tomorrow also. Construct with what you have for a happy today, not for tomorrow. That's the message that I wish to say to anyone who comes to me. And be political. Don't say you're apolitical, because every time you choose something, it's a politics. You may choose something on the shelf in a mall. You can choose anything. There are 100 varieties of soaps, but you choose something. That's the politics that you are doing. So you can't be aloof, you can't be apolitical. You are political. Be a political human being. Choose rightly, choose wisely, and enjoy this moment. Be in this moment. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Be in today.
Thank you so much. But before we wind up, we have rapid fire for you. Tell me, theatre or cinema?
Theatre.
One film you wish you had directed.
Pater Panchali.
A book that changed the way you think.
Malegalali Madumagalu by Kuvimpu.
Favorite role you've played as an actor.
The play Na Tukaramalla, where I played the lead. That's one thing in theatre. And in film, Act 1978, where I played a 84-year-old man. These are the 2 things that I keep on remembering.
Nice. What's harder, writing dialogues or directing actors?
Nothing is harder if you know how to swim.
One word your wife Shailaja Nag would use to describe you on set.
Love.
Very nice. If not cinema, what career would you have chosen? Or theatre, for that matter?
I actually wanted to become a painter,
Oh,
a sculptor.
oh wow. A Kannada classic you think every youngster should watch.
In cinema, I would request everyone to watch a film made by Girish Kasarvalli titled Dvipa, or any Girish Kasarvalli film as far as cinema is concerned. As far as theatre is concerned, whenever you get a chance to read plays by Girish Karnad, read the plays of Girish Karnad and watch the plays directed by one guy called S. Surendranath. He is one of the finest designers, theatre designers I have ever met, and the finest directors in theatre I have ever met.
The most underrated filmmaker in India, according to you?
There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who have not even been recognized. Nandita Das or Aparna Sen, another underrated filmmaker. Amol Palekar as director is also an underrated. But there are a lot of, even me, I might have, many people do not know that I am a director.
If you could go back to your child actor self on the set of Ghatashraddha, what advice would you give him?
I normally don't decide to go back. But if I am asked to go back, I would have performed better, you know. Today, the suing should not be seen. That is the kind of acting that is demanded today. Whereas being somebody from street theatre, I'm loud. When I do some gesture, it is louder than what Nasruddin Shah does as acting or anybody else does.
More restrained.
Yeah, I'm a bit louder. I use more gestures. I don't use silence, pauses, like what I'm doing with you while I'm talking with you. I had not done the same thing in Ghatashraddha. But Girish Kasarvalli was a great person who tried to control me and got whatever he wanted to get. I'm happy because I learned the craft through such people.
Yes.
I don't regret what I have done.
Thank you. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks a lot for having a conversation with me after me coming to Atlanta, meeting a person like Jyotsna who knows what the person she's talking to. That's very rare, you know. Most of the times when we meet somebody for an interview, they will not know anything about what we have done or what somebody else has done. And we end up talking about what we have done rather than what we intend to do. This was a rare interview where I was able to talk about what I intend to do and what I did. Thanks for that.
Thank you.